Hello guys, this is Icy Blue and this is another one of my vlogs. I wanted to show you guys my old drawings, anime stuff, writing, and explain what I like to call the dark ages. Basically life before the internet became a big part of my life. So I was a little worried about stuff that was stored in a small space for such a long time. What year was it when I put this stuff here? This is a book with some brief information on GameCube stuff, giving me a preview of games that I could buy for my GameCube, which I still happen to have. And that's Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, that's right. This was before Microsoft came and killed Rare off. Does anyone find it odd that Elwood's game was released in America and we have Roy, Elwood's son, in Super Smash Bros. Melee and the Smash Wii U game, but Roy's game did not come to America? What the hell, Nintendo? That still pisses me off to this day. Moving on, player guides were a big thing back then because the internet wasn't as big as it is now. I either had to ask a friend how they got out of a situation in a video game, or have that friend come over my house and help me out of that situation I was stuck in, like Majora's Mask Water Temple, for example. I remember another one of my friends got stuck in the same temple, but I wasn't available to help him, so he was stuck for a very long time. Now, I can just use Google if I was stuck in a video game. Aside from that, I brought these player's guides because I love the artwork of these video games. I wish I could show you guys the Fire Emblem Path of Radiant strategy guide I had before I sold it. The Fire Emblem games always had nice artwork. But pretty much now, if I see a game with nice artwork, I would basically just buy the art book itself, not those crappy GameStop art books, but like the actual like official like gigantic art book. Game Informer was a huge thing too. I used to get a lot of information from these magazines. Sex, Lies, and Video Games issue. This issue, which covered the very boring first Dead or Alive beach volleyball game, caused a ton of people to end their subscriptions to Game Informer. I'm not joking. The next issue after this one had so many angry responses in the readers' comment section. I believed Game Informer had to apologize for the issue itself. Oh, how I miss this magazine. In America was how I found out about new anime that was coming out without having to randomly buy anime from Suncoast and hoping to God that whatever I brought was good. Most anime that I brought randomly, like that was okay or good or something that I shouldn't watch around family. I have some horror stories that I like to tell based on these two anime. Please remind me again in the future someday. I honestly miss this magazine because no other anime magazines has been able to grab my attention like Animerica has. I have my own anime and video game review website now called ofanimeandvideogames.com, and I will be using these magazine issues to get ideas for reviewing older anime. Honestly, older anime shouldn't be forgotten. When I was a kid, the word anime was not well known. Any teenagers who liked anything animated were ostracized to hell. Fellow students, family, didn't matter. I gotta grow up and love sports, fashion, shopping, anything boring, you name it. I learned to keep my hobbies to a few friends for my own sanity. When I found out about anime conventions like NecoCon, I was super excited. I went to NecoCon for like 12 years straight, no joke. I would be trying my best to put on the supposed quote unquote normal persona for like 362 days a year. Once it was time for NecoCon, I took my friends, left my mask at home, and went to NecoCon. Going to NecoCon was like a vacation, and it still is, actually. I met so many people at NecoCon that I still talk to and hang out with, especially since the majority of those people are competitive fighting game players like myself. I'll start going back to NecoCon like next year, most likely when I'm more financially stable. But leaving on Sunday for NecoCon would always be like the saddest day for me. Back to these boring people who worshipped celebrities and sports players like a god. Just 362 more days, and I'll be back at NecoCon. That's what I would always say. I wrote a lot of fanfiction, and posted it on fanfiction.net before fanfiction.net got really uptight and deleted a lot of my stories for no reason at all. Of course, I have some original work around here, but a lot of it is unfinished. I was trying so hard to get a book traditionally published, and that's hard to do. Thanks to Amazon Kindle, I was able to publish a Life for a Purse, and I don't have to go through the trouble of being traditionally published. I ended up starting a lot of stories back then and then ditching the stories because I didn't want to get a rejection letter after submitting my manuscript. There's a mix of original stories and fan fiction in most of these notebooks. I found something that was original. The woman lay down in her own blood. She made no move to get out of the crimson liquid. Her body was too tense to do so. Her vision of everything around her was starting to blur. The young woman tried to move her legs. There was no use. All she could feel was the blood running down her body from the lines across her stomach. Instead of trying to move her legs again, she lied there, letting her mind travel to the pain for a few seconds. The woman closed her mouth. There was no use in trying to call for help, or talk for that matter. She changed her mind and decided to hang on. What was I writing? I think when I was a teenager, my character started getting into bloodbaths or covered in blood somehow. It still is a typical thing in my stories till this day. Just like in America, these how to draw manga books are out of print. These books help me get better at drawing. Now, since I'm older, I realize that the anatomy presented in these books are not great. I also realize that some of the anatomy presented in this book is a whole lot better than some of the current anime anatomy of today. I like the drawing beautiful girls from around the world and the first volume a lot when I was younger. Unfortunately, I ended up just copying a lot of the examples in the books instead of creating my own anime style. These drawings are pretty old. I also don't feel right just showing these drawings, so I redrew some of them. The girl was a character I used to draw a lot. I really liked her design, and I wrote a couple of stories with her in it. I might redesign her in Photoshop for the channel. I didn't color the boy or the girl because I don't use color pencils anymore. I could add more detail with shading, but I'm not good at shading in pencil. I do want to get better at drawing blood because I have two feature stories where characters bleed, bathe in blood, drink blood, etc. Interestingly, I drew a lot of females back then. I preferred drawing female characters because drawing my own gender was easy for me. I didn't find drawing men fun despite having a crap ton of husbandos that I love. Now, I want to sit down and draw real male anatomy for a few months after finishing my straight visual novel. Honestly, have a couple of shonen and yaoi visual novels to write and create in the future. Honestly, I've wasted way too much time talking about my dreams with the wrong people offline. I want to share how anime and video games relate to my writing from time to time on this channel. So, I'm going to be posting more on this YouTube channel and VidMe because it makes me happy. Have a nice day, guys.